What it do? Welcome back to another segment of Mr. Wayne Reviews Sports Edition, y'all. It's your boy, Moze Lee. Now for the NFL, training camps is in full effect, and now football teams are in the middle of some preseason football, y'all. With that being said, it is a perfect time to start getting those fantasy football rosters and them lineups all set up, alright? Who are you going to draft? Who should you avoid? And who else but yours truly to help you with that, alright? For the upcoming season, y'all, I created a list on who I think is going to be the top players in terms of fantasy football, alright? Now hear me out. Let me just put y'all on some game on something right quick. This list is not about who the best players in the NFL is, alright? Trust me, that's a whole different list. But this list is based from a standpoint on who's going to be the top players by their position in the NFL next year in terms of fantasy football points only, alright? So it's not really based on the full body of work of a player, or career stats, or even playoff stats, because we know playoffs, that's where the real stars are born. But it's actually based on 3 criteria: what they did last year, what they can do or projected to do this year, and just my gut feeling, y'all. And I told y'all my gut feeling is better than the average, alright? So hear me out. Perfect example, I did my quarterback segment. I'm not gonna spoil it for all y'all, so just take a look at that list, alright? But Andrew Luck, in my eyes, he's a top tier quarterback. In my eyes, he's arguably one of the top 7 quarterbacks in the NFL. He did not make my list, y'all, alright? It's just my gut feeling tells me that for next year, there's gonna be at least 10 quarterbacks better than Andrew Luck in the fantasy football world, y'all, alright? Kirk Cousins made my list. In a pickup game, I'm picking Andrew Luck over Kirk Cousins all day. So there you go. That's how it's based on, alright? So let's jump right into it. We're gonna talk about the top 10 running backs, projected running backs for next year, alright? But before we do that, according to NFL.com, these were the top 10 running backs in terms of fantasy football. Now these points are based from a standard league, not a PPR league, alright? The top running back last year was Devontae Freeman of the Atlanta Falcons, y'all, alright? He led all running backs with 243.40 fantasy points. He had over 1,000 yards rushing, and he had over 10 TDs. So that's an awesome year, alright? We just gonna go down the list, okay? We got Adrian Peterson. Man, he led the league last year with 1,485 yards. That's your number 2 running back last year. Number 3, Doug Martin, the muscle hamster from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, y'all. He led the league last year. He was second in the league behind Adrian Peterson in rushing last year, y'all, which is pretty surprising. Keep going down the list. Number 4 was D'Angelo Williams of the Steelers. He had a good year. Number 5 was the rookie sensation, Todd Gurley. Lamar Miller, he's a Texan now. He made the list. He was number 6 last year. David Johnson from the Arizona Cardinals, he made this list. Chris Ivory from the Jets to the Jags, baby. He was your number 8 running back in terms of fantasy football last year. Number 9 was Matt Forte. He's going to be picking up where Chris Ivory left off for them Jets, alright? And number 10 was Latavius Murray from the Oakland Raiders last year, y'all. He balled, man. Last year he had over 1,000 yards rushing, and he finished number 10 of the running backs in fantasy football last year, alright? That was last year. Here go my projected top 10 running backs for the upcoming season, y'all. Alright, let's get to it. Number 10 is Doug Martin from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The muscle hamster, man, watch out. He's going to have another good year. The only thing I would say for him is that he had a lot of fumbles lost last year. But if he could hold on to the ball, he's going to have another good year like he did last season. Number 9 is LaShawn McCoy, alright, from the Buffalo Bills. Now, last year was a disappointing season for LaShawn McCoy, for the shady one, alright? This year, watch out for LaShawn McCoy, man. That's my number 9 running back for next year. Number 8, from the Jets to the Jags, baby, Chris Ivory. Man, this cat is hard to tackle. Watch out for this cat. Get it? Number 7 might be a surprise to some. From the Seattle Seahawks, I got Thomas Rawls, y'all. That's my number 7 running back for next year. Man, this is Beast Mode Part 2. Watch out for this cat. Number 6 is Latavius Murray from the Oakland Raiders. And he made the list last year. He was the number 10 according to NFL.com in fantasy world, y'all, alright? He's going to be number 6 this year. Alright, and here go my top 5 running backs for fantasy football of the upcoming season. Number 5 is Jamal Charles. You got to put him on this list, right? But I know what what you're thinking. He's also injury prone. But hear me out. If he could give you 14 games, he's going to make this list, y'all, alright? At least 14 games, he's going to give you great fantasy points, alright? So make sure you got him in your roster. Number 4 is also a surprise. C.J. Anderson. If you don't know him yet, watch out. You're going to know him this year. Like I said, man, I think the Broncos quarterback play is going to be pretty horrible. So Gary Kubiak is going to be running that ball, baby. And C.J. Anderson, man, I'm projecting him to have at least 1,200 yards rushing. Alright, C.J. Anderson, watch out for that boy. Number 3 is AP, Adrian Peterson from the Vikings, man. I think every year he's going to make the top 10 in something, alright? So that's a given. Number 2, the rookie sensation going into his sophomore season is Todd Gurley, y'all. I'm telling y'all, he had a nice year last year. It's only going to get better. Number 2, running back Todd Gurley. And the number 1 running back for me for the next year is Devontae Freeman. It ain't changed, baby. Devontae Freeman is going to be the number 1 running back in the fantasy football world yet again. Alright? Alright, let's take a look at some of the players that did not make this list. Le'Veon Bell, he didn't cut it for me, man. I know he got 3-game suspension, but it's just sometimes when he gets back, he's going to be a little rusty. And just also, every now and then, he just has an injury. This year, I'm only giving him about 10 games, y'all, alright? So he's not going to make this list. Neither is his teammate, DeAngelo Williams, man. I just think Le'Veon Bell is going to eat a lot of his carries, so DeAngelo Williams is not going to make this list. Lamar Miller, he did his damage with the Dolphins last year. Going to try to do it with the Texans. Don't see it happening. Matt Forte from the Jets. Don't see it happening. And here's a surprise for some of y'all. Ezekiel Elliott is not going to make this list. Now, some of these big media guys, man, they crowned Ezekiel Elliott Rookie of the Year before he took one snap. Man, that is putting too much pressure on a rookie, man. He is not going to make this list. And some people say he's a top 10 draft in fantasy football. Incorrect. Alright, that's a couple that didn't make the cut, man. Now, here go a couple sleepers. These sleepers mean you could probably draft them pretty late. Late. And they'll be good for y'all, alright? Justin Forsett from the Ravens. Watch out for this cat. He got injured a little bit last year. He's gonna be good for y'all, alright? Eddie Lacy. That boy. Nah, for real. Watch out, man. Watch out for that cat, man. He's gonna be pretty good this year. Then I got Charcandrick West from the Chiefs, man. Soon as Jamal Charles go out, you could plug him in, you know. Like, I don't think he's gonna be the top 10 running backs, but he'll, if you plug him in your fantasy, he's gonna get you something, alright? And then Jeremy Langford from the Bears. Watch out for this cat, man. It's a young upcoming running back, man. He has it all, man. So watch out. You could probably get him in the late rounds, alright? There you go. That was my list for the top 10 running backs in fantasy football for the upcoming season. One love, one God. Peace.